Good afternoon, everyone. Excited to be presenting my first webinar to you all. I'm Suchi Gupta, Creative Director of Pure Design Solution, a digital marketing company based in Gurgaon. And I'm excited to be here this afternoon and thank you, EduPristine, for giving me this opportunity to talk about this new concept of virality in video marketing. I've got a very interesting story to share with you all before I even get into the webinar. When I started my company in 2009 back in California, and I used to attend a lot of webinars. In fact, half of my college training happened on webinars. So I met my first client through a webinar, and they were our long-term clients almost till 2015. So that's why I have always very strongly believed in the power of online learning. And this is a great portal that EduPristine has established where 20,000 plus professionals are coming together to educate or impart industry level topics to students across countries. There are 40 plus countries that are benefiting from this kind of platform. So basically, our main topic for today is what are the tricks of making your next video campaign viral. Before we get into it, just a short description about Pure Design Solution. It's a full service digital marketing and design agency. We are based in Gurgaon. A short journey description about our journey so far. We started in 2009 in California. And when I moved in Gurgaon, I started the office in Gurgaon 2013. One of our biggest success stories so far has been working with a marketing company in California, AP42, through which we serviced close to 4 or 5 very large Fortune 500 companies. Silicon Valley Bank was one of them, and we did almost 500 plus projects for them. So the main philosophy or the methodology that we practice at PDS is integrated digital marketing, which can be summed up in 3 simple words: discover, design, try. We very strongly feel that even before you create or launch any new campaign, you've got to do the research part. You have to understand your online user, understand the marketplace, online market place where you're launching your product or service, and develop and establish certain key metrics that will start measuring the performance of your campaign. Based on that blueprint, we help design the campaigns that are supposed to deliver either a certain level of brand equity or a lead generation to a client. Definitely, we further utilize the ongoing or current online marketing tools, which are actually growing every very often, whether it is Facebook marketing, LinkedIn marketing, Instagram, email marketing, and the new kid on the block, video marketing. So couple of services that we provide under that is online market strategy, SEO, SMO, and digital ads, user experience and design, very critical for the success of any kind of marketing campaign, and certainly information design, that is also part of our design vertical. Today, let's talk about a novel part in video marketing. So video marketing is not something new. It's been there for almost 5-6 years and being very aggressively being used by marketers. But there is a small component in video marketing that is becoming more and more popular, and that should be thought through when a campaign is put together in the first place. The component is of virality. So what is virality? Virality is a trait of a content piece that helps him travel very rapidly and widely so that it starts ranking on the top trends for most platforms, whether it is Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. So I'm actually going to break this entire session into 3 parts. The first session is let's understand the online audience, understand certain facts around the online audience and the different type of video platforms that are out there. Second part, I want to talk about simple tricks that make a video more marketable. And in the third component, I'm going to share with you the secret recipe. How do we make our in-house strategy for viral video campaigns? Excited? So let's get started. First part, let's just look at some numbers. There is close to 730 million internet users in India by 2020. That's a NASSCOM number. But more importantly is this number that by 2020, 702 million people will be using smartphones to access data, whether it is static data, whether it's video, whether it's audio. And that's a huge number. And another fact is that 75% of these new users are supposed to consume the content that they see through these mobile devices in their local languages. That's a very important finding. What it helps us to do as marketers is keep it in mind when you build a campaign that has to be at a regional level, at a more organic level. So knowing that, it's very important, it's very critical to include video marketing in your strategy, because a large amount of Indian audience still likes to consume data or still likes to consume information through audio and video mode. And since they'll be influenced through this audio and video mode more, it's important. That's why the use of videos have increased dramatically. But now that the video production has gone so big, how do you make your videos really marketable? What are the things that will make your videos stand out more or in front of your audience? So what are the top 7 types of videos? Let's discuss that first. There is a new kid in the block that we've also experimented with. That's live Facebook Live. And other channels that allow live streaming is Meerkat and Periscope. So Facebook Live especially, we've experimented it for one of our clients. We did a Facebook Live campaign back in July for our client Orain International. They're a beauty institute, a group of beauty institutes. And we did this Facebook Live on a complete beauty makeover. Surprisingly, the results were phenomenal. It was unimaginable. We did not expect it. It closed at 1.3 million impressions. Close to 2,500 comments were received for that during the live session, which was of 30 minutes. And to talk about the reach, it was definitely 135% higher than any kind of simple static photograph based campaign. So videos, especially the live streaming, has a very powerful effect. People like to see things that they can really see happening in front of it. It's almost like watching TV. Isn't it true? YouTube is actually becoming the new TV of today. So going forward, other channels which are capitalizing on video marketing are Snapchat. It's a channel of millennials, and actively, correctly said so, because with that huge amount of audience sitting on Snapchat, which is close to, I believe, 550 million odd millennial audience, Snapchat videos have become hot thing of today. Similarly, Instagram, the short videos on Instagram are being very aggressively used by top brands for their brand building. It seems 40% of the top 1,000 most popular Instagram videos belong to big brands. What better way to be in front of your younger audience than Instagram today? Other different types of videos that I've seen gain a lot of traction, probably over a period of time, is whiteboard explainer videos. These are the videos that are commonly used to explain a certain concept. And these videos are very good to boost your conversions, or if there is an ongoing campaign that's happening, because the users are able to understand your concept better. The other kind of videos that are very popular, and these are commonly used especially by startup companies, is animated explainer videos. Videos explained, or the concept explained using characters and scenes. If you have a product that is absolutely new and does or solves a problem that is not known in the market that much, animated explainer videos are one of the best ways to do it. Another kind of videos that are very common, especially in the educational field, are instruction videos, wherein you try to demonstrate or explain in a large number of to a target audience. For example, Baiju. The success of Baiju is amazing. I actually saw Baiju even showcase it in IPL. This one is my favorite, product unboxing videos. It's one of a kind, and it really boosts or influences the decision-making power of your user online. Surprisingly, users online are quite fickle. If, for example, you have to search for a new phone, to buy a new phone, you would want to actually, feel it if possible. But most mobile companies don't allow to be unboxed before you purchase it. But these product videos actually show you what are the features of the phone, what are you actually getting it in that price. So it influences the user and helps him to make a decision when he goes and touches the product. But there is a word of caution in using all these videos. You've got to remember that whenever you are choosing what kind of video material to create, you've got to choose it right. And many times this depends upon the kind of product you have, audience you're going to serve, and the markets you're going to deal with. So you've got to do your research on these main three parts before deciding what would be the video content. Other thing is, it might be a smart idea to experiment with 2 or 3 different kind of videos before you kind of start nailing it down or honing it out. What is the video type that really works with my kind of service or product? Another catch of the thing is, people tend to make pretty long videos and they expect that the videos should do well. You have to understand the behavior pattern of your online user. As we are getting more and more content into the system, surprisingly, our ability to look for, or our attention span to look at those videos are becoming shorter and shorter. Typically, 60-second video is the best, has shown the best kind of results, especially in a virality-based campaigns, because they are short, they are sweet, they have a good recall value, and they stay with the consumer a lot more. So here's a question that you should ask. Should you worry about virality first, or about the content in the video first? So this makes us come to our second part of the tutorial, which is we need to understand what are those top 5 tricks that will make your video marketable. You've nailed down, okay, what is the kind of video you want to make, but you've got to know 5 or 6 of those tricks that will help you identify the right kind of content, the right kind of production value for making your video really marketable. So let's jump into it. So the first ingredient is surprisingly the age-old storytelling. If you remember growing up, when your grandma or grandpa used to tell you stories, it still remains true. Stories have the biggest recall value. So believe in the power of storytelling. Think of a story that will stick with you, with your audience, and build your video around it, build the content around it. It can be a little humorous, or it has um, a education piece around it, or it talks about some kind of information that is relatable in a story format. The other component in video marketing that can really have a good effect is make it share worthy. So the content that you're creating, ask yourself that question. Do you think that content is would be can be shared by different audience, different kinds of audience, not just one? And when you ask that question, you'll come to understand why would would a customer, why would a viewer share the video? Why do you share a video when you see it on Facebook or on your Instagram thing? Because either it has an emotional connect to you, either there is a humor attached to it, either it brings you a certain kind of value that you think your network can gain with it, or you just want to simply share. That's okay too. So, usually, educational videos that leave the viewer with some kind of an educative value has a much greater effect and much greater shareable value to it. This is a very important thing. Whenever you're designing your content for the video, the, it's like a hamburger effect. Have you seen everybody has eaten a burger, right? There's a top part, there's a middle section, and then there's a lower section. The top part, imagine that imagine that to be the first 10 seconds of your video. That top part needs to be the most exciting, needs to initiate that idea in your viewer. Something that the viewer was searching for and he's finally found it. Something that that viewer is going to laugh about, and builds that curiosity in the viewer to take it to the next level. So this is a golden rule, that to make your 10 seconds the most engaging, the most exciting, kickstarting an idea so that your viewer stays till the end. I saw a Dettol ad the other day, and it had that sticky value wherein I just could not skip the ad when I was watching my YouTube video. I think it had that great 10-second sticky value to it, and there is a huge amount of beauty to that. As we just discussed, India will have close to 700 million smartphone users by 2020. So doesn't it make sense that when you are building such a good content for your video, you should make it mobile friendly? It should be mobile optimized. And this is one of the biggest challenges I've seen a lot of agencies make, a lot of clients make. They create the video either in low quality or in dimensions that are not well workable on a mobile platform or on a mobile screen. So keeping that in mind early on will hugely affect the production time and the final outcome of the quality. Make it mobile friendly, make it responsive, make it easy to view and easy to share on mobile. So once you've got your content, you definitely want to tag it up. By tagging it up, I mean adding those right keywords, even in the description of the video or the title of the video or inside the video. That will help boost the SEO results for your video. So it's a very simple trick, but a very smart one to make your video discoverable. Now we come to our third last section of our tutorial or of our webinar. Do you have or do you think of a distribution strategy once your video content is created? Let me go back. You've done your research. You've identified the kind of audience you want to build your video content for. You've identified the kind of video you want to create or the kind of video campaign you want to run. For instance, a live Facebook campaign, which is supposed to show phenomenal results. Now you've figured that out. You move to the next step. You apply certain tricks of the trade to make sure your content is share worthy. You make sure those first top 10 seconds of the video have a sticky effect, have an idea to share, have a emotional connect value to it. But do you also think about a distribution strategy upfront? I'm pretty sure most of you guys must answer it no. At least that's what I've seen it in my experience. People think of creating the video content without even putting a thought that once the video content is created, what to do with it. The answer would be, oh, let's launch it on YouTube. Okay, it's launched on YouTube. YouTube is nothing but a platform. Your video is not going to be discoverable. Your video is not going to be reachable to the audience if you do not have a distribution strategy. So the third ingredient that we have figured out in our video marketing strategy is plan a blueprint for your distribution of the content. And we mainly do it as per each client's requirements. So what should be a strategy? It should be definitely based on the audience you want to reach out. It should be based on utilizing top 10 shareable platforms currently available on social media. It should also utilize the power of website, email marketing, influencer marketing, and so much more. So without further let me get into it and share with you what are those top things that we keep in mind or include in our distribution strategy that has shown or proven some remarkable results for us. The first one is take time to identify what should be the launch time. This is based on your analysis. When is your audience most active? And where can you get that data? It is through your website Google Analytics. It is through your Facebook Insights. It is through your YouTube Insights as well. So study those. Try to figure out what is the most active time for your audience. For example, Orain International, which has been almost a year-long client for us, their audience is surprisingly most active around 7 to 9 p.m. in the evening, as opposed to the regular hours that are shared. So launching your video at the right time, at the right day, is going to be crucial to kickstarting that video. Second, leverage multiple social channels. So I strongly believe all these platforms can be integrated and utilized for a greater purpose. You may be doing a Facebook Live campaign, but you need to utilize your Twitter, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, company channels, plus your top exec profiles to bring traffic on Facebook through those channels. Even the power of WhatsApp cannot be ignored. WhatsApp is a very powerful personalized communication channel which may be used closer to the launch dates, but it cannot be ignored. It should be put in the distribution strategy mix. The next one, and this is a very important one. I've written it in a concise manner, but this is surely huge. Initial seeding. See the word initial seeding. That actually means even before your video is launched, or just launched, you put that video link into certain places. You aggregate, you utilize the power of groups, communities, forums to spread that video link in the audience space that you want to initially begin with. And that audience base, let's term it as initial promoters. These are those receptive people who will pick up your video link and happily share it in their network. And bang on, your virality factor will start increasing. Quotient will start increasing. So figure out those groups, make a list of those community pages, check out the forums, go sign up with those forums, and do that initial seeding before you launch your video or right after you launch the video. And in the agency, we still practice it very aggressively. Next, we come to push strategy. You've created a very powerful content piece, and trust me, a good video content cannot be done in a matter of day. It does take a good amount of time, planning, and execution to create a piece that is worth sharing, worth pushing, worth creating value for you and your brand. So if you've created that kind of a piece, you need to leverage email marketing. You need to have it pop up in the website as a landing page where your audience, whoever is visiting your website, can go and have access to it. Use, if you have an app, build reminders in it. Closer to the launch date, there are messages that are going to your audience through email, through WhatsApp, displayed on the website that, hey, check out the video that we just launched. The next one, which is understated but should be brought forward aggressively when you're doing your video campaign, that is online marketing, online PR. We are all familiar with the traditional PR concept, right? Now, in the online marketplace, this online PR is developing in form of online publications that are allowing real estate to publish your content. Content advertising like Taboola and so on that allow content snippets to go through top broadcasting companies, news sites, forums. The other one is influencer marketing, influencer blogger groups, who you can reach out to and spread your content through them. Again, make a laundry list of these sites. Reach out to their admins ahead of time, even before the initial seeding phase. Get their approvals so that just before the launch date or after the launch date, this is activated and your video is seeded into these online platforms as well. Last but not the least is influencers and bloggers. As I briefly mentioned, they themselves are a big category. And bloggers and influencers, there are groups of bloggers and influencers that you can reach out to. For example, you've got a client who's in travel. The direct relation would be, let me find a blogger who's into travel. You reach out to the blogger and you say, hey, look, there's a beautiful video I've created. Well, it's a good idea. You look at it and go ahead and write about it. But here's another thought. What if you find communities or you find bloggers and influencers in food, in car travel particularly? So those influencers, those bloggers can also become catalyst for spreading your content. And if these 6 different verticals are applied on the content that you've produced, my analysis says, my discovery says, your video will become viral in no time, and it'll be communicated, it will be spread in the right group and among the right audience. So go ahead and try these 5-6 tricks on your next video campaign. But first and foremost, on a piece of paper, even before you begin, list down these 3 specific areas where you should approach your video campaign to finally achieve the virality effect. And to repeat those, first, figure out your audience, study your online marketplace, also understand the video platforms you want to utilize. Start building your content using the best tricks of the trade, making it shareable, keeping the 10-second rule in mind, making it, spreading it on all kinds of platforms. Then build your distribution strategy ahead of time so that when the video is ready and you are ready to plug it uh, into the online arena, it starts spreading in no time. And trust me, you're going to see phenomenal results. Try out these tricks, um, and follow this strategy in your next video campaign. And I'm hopeful that you'll touch the virality factor. I want to thank EduPristine again for giving me the opportunity. Again, EduPristine is one of the largest professional training institutes in Asia, Middle East, and Africa, founded by Atul Kumar and Paramdeep Singh, both IIT graduates, and it is being used by 20,000 plus professionals across the world and touching 40 plus countries. Another thing, EduPristine has been working with many corporates across the globe and even in India, and their tutorials, their sessions are being utilized by these corporates to benefit their employees, provide training programs to their employees. More their partnerships and associations, they are Google partner, they partner with CFA Institute, ACCA, GARP, Microsoft IT Academy, Berker, and so on. So pleasure. It was really nice to walk you guys through and share with you a success of one of our innovative campaigns that we have been doing, that is by achieving virality in our video campaigns. So I'm more than happy to take up questions. Give me a minute and I will kickstart the question session. I would like you to type your questions in the box, in the chat box, and I'll be happy to answer those.